IVM. Something as simple as a family meal carries immense benefits. It's linked to better eating habits, greater intake of fruits and veggies, and even better grades and higher self esteem for your kids. In this episode, we'll discuss the importance of family meals and how you can enable family meals in your home and in your busy routine.
Almost every job in the world requires training, except parenting.
You need to learn parenting on the job, and that can be really hard.
Here on Big Talk about Tiny Humans, we want to help you navigate the world of parenting better and make your lives a little bit easier.
Hi, I'm Meghna.
And hi, I'm Devishobha.
Every week, we bring you the best research on parenting,
Top tips from experts,
and actionable strategies to confront the numerous challenges that all parents and educators face.
So let's get started, shall we?
You know, Shobha, one of the most ubiquitous images of family life today is each member. You know how we are hunched over our own devices in our own rooms? We're all just so busy, right? I mean, there's jobs, there's kids, there's after school activities. It seems we're constantly on the go. Even amidst the pandemic, it seems we hardly have time to sit and connect with each other.
Absolutely.
And I'm seeing this a lot in therapy nowadays, where couples complain that my partner doesn't have time for me, kids saying my parents don't spend time with me. And invariably, when I ask them the last time you sat and ate together as a family, I see them scratch their heads trying to remember. How did something so simple become so complicated?
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. I think in a world of fast food, we've just become so used to the idea of grabbing meals in cars between, some practice or the other or some other events. And even, during the pandemic, it's just like, grabbing food from a kitchen counter or from the dining table and just be on the go, right? And it's dinner in front of the television or the personal gadgets like the mobile or tablets, and the constant presence of electronics that is very, very distracting. The family meal is just becoming very, very rare in these times. For many families, schools, work schedules, and extracurricular activities can really make it very difficult to find time and to sync up time between all the family members' schedules to eat together and go, over this routine. And if some families go for days or even weeks together without sitting down as a family, and this is so much a reality. And family meal time has really been lost in our overscheduled times. And I think the best analogy comes to my mind is that in sixth grade, we used to learn about the light bulb. And when the bulb gets heated and we just sprinkle one drop of water and the whole bulb cracks off, right? Because the entire thing is heated and then this just contracts. So it's just like that. Everything else is taking place so fast. And then this one thing is just like ruptures the connection between the members of the family. So, sometimes I think of it that way.
That's a very interesting analogy. So you're saying that family meals are like, we should look at family meals as connection time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You should look at family meals as this one bond that sort of holds us all together.
Absolutely.
Okay, on this note, we shall take a break and come back.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On The Habit Coach, Ashton talks to holistic health coach Chris Gibson about the various aspects of skincare routines. On The Longest Constitution, Priya deconstructs an important judgment on reservations with the Indira Sawhney case. On Ikka Dukka Economy, Abhinav and Dr. Bharat Junjunwala analyze how the dynamics of a typical government job have changed over the years. And on The Life Manifesto, Zarina teaches us how we can become better decision makers. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. We really do appreciate the word of mouth. Also, don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms that you're listening to us on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is. And we are also on YouTube. On YouTube, you can check out our various channels on ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Bank of Baroda and CoinSwitch Kuber. Thank you for making this possible.
Welcome back. Do you really think family meals are what they're cracked up to be?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of research definitely supports this. So, family meals definitely are a respite for harried parents, in the sense it just gets a lot of the members of the family together. So, you can, have some together time. Research also shows that children who regularly eat meals with their parents tend to eat more healthy food, in the sense they tend to try more fruits, vegetables, other healthy foods, and are less likely to be obese. In fact, I had just read a report that said that those who don't eat together actually report higher obesity, in communities and families. And of course, a family meal obviously creates a very positive family atmosphere during regular meal times. And it also shows that eating disorders in adolescence that are so common these days, they are not that prevalent in families that eat together, right? And that's
Yeah.
because watching parents eat healthily day in and day out, watching them, seeing everybody else do the thing, right, is just has a very positive influence on children's own behavior, and the choices they make can definitely be impacted as they grow. And the benefits go beyond nutrition too. Eating together can improve parent-child relationships. It can give kids a sense of stability and connectedness. Children younger than 13, especially, who regularly eat meals with their families, they are seen to exhibit fewer behavioral problems, in the sense they exhibit lesser risky behaviors. They are less inclined towards risky behavior. And meals are also where we learn our family culture, family values, which can be very unique for families, right? And where we also establish our personal tastes and our personal routines as a family. As a parent, I've seen that experimenting with new foods is one of the first leaps into the big kid territory that little ones can often make. And this is best done, while having the meal together. And the other thing is, it also has surprisingly a very great impact on cognitive abilities. One is because obviously there's better nutrition, so cognitive abilities are better managed, in the sense they have the nutritional benefits of a good cognitive base there. But also otherwise, metalinguistic uses, when parents use language focused terms that are positively correlated with children's use of language terms as well, it's is shown that children can actually pick up a lot of nuances of language, can pick up nuances of culture and everything. So there's a very easy avenue for that with family meals.
But why I'm curious about this. Why only family meals is associated with language development? Wouldn't parents be generally talking to their kids as well? I mean, isn't that the assumption?
No,
Why only family meals?
definitely not. It's not that this is the only place where parents can talk, but the point is that if we make a routine of having family meals together, because of the routine that we can set, so family meals can become a place where parents and the elders in the family can exchange notes about their days.
Okay.
Can
Yeah.
talk to children about how their day has been, exchange notes on how they have handled certain situations. So it's not like you can establish a routine around sharing your day, and lots of families do that. And when families are seen doing that, it has a very direct impact on like I said, not just nutritional, physical attributes, but also cognitive attributes of children.
That sounds incredible, actually. One little thing which actually our culture, which has always been there in our culture,
Yeah, absolutely.
having now research corroborating all these beautiful benefits of that is quite incredible. India, of course, has had the tradition of the whole family coming together, sitting down on the floor and eating together, right? But I wonder, because a lot of this research that you're talking about comes from the West, right? Or as well, right? In addition to Indian research. So I wonder, what about these highly individualized cultures? What about the family meals there? Because this on the go concept that you were talking about in the beginning is, after all, come from the West. No, this individualized, this portion of food is only packed for me and I will sit alone and eat it. This has come from the West. So what about family meals in the context of the Western countries?
Meghna, that's a very, very interesting question that you asked, because I think that globalization has really merged all of our cultures. And it's really time for us to, pick up the best from every culture that is available. And most of us have heard about Denmark. Denmark frequently tops the list among the happiest countries in the world. It's usually among the top three. And this is in service conducted by the United Nations, among other organizations, and it consistently beats other Scandinavian neighbors like Sweden and Norway. And one of the research, in fact, Denmark has been a topic of interest, a country of interest in studying why this entire country reports so much of happiness. And one of the studies, one of the key factors to that is that they have a community practice called hygge. It's a Danish word. It's spelled Hygge, but pronounced hygge. And this is actually exploded in popularity around the world simply because people are curious why this nation consistently tops the happiness charts. And hygge is very unique in the sense that it familiarizes, or it just popularizes the concept of just being warm, just being relaxed, just this concept of coziness around a community. Hygge is actually a mindset. It's about relaxing, just being kind to yourself rather than going with or without a certain food type or drink. It's just about building that atmosphere, and it just focuses on building any kind of activity that can be emotionally comforting for the entire community. And hygge happens not just within a family, it is for the entire community. So it builds like a neighborhood or an extended family. So this is like they do it almost once or twice a month. This is like a regular practice. And this is about the hygge way of eating is also about indulging mindfully. So it's not about doing a certain thing or just meeting one particular nutritional requirement or anything like that. It's
or
just
eating
about,
in front of our gadgets mindlessly like we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's this feeling. In fact, hygge encourages people sharing, without fearing judgment. So it's a place where people can open up, share their stuff, what they've been going through, get advice without judgment. And imagine the kind of security that it provides. Every 2 weeks that you have somebody, that you have the space to go and share what you're going through. Imagine the kind of mental health.
It almost sounds like a group therapy session, it almost sounds like that.
And it's just that it's also clubbed with food, and this can happen very well with our own families, right? So and this is what we have been doing all along as Indian families. And when another community has done this and is consistently topping the happiness charts, now we are all talking about it and we realize the importance of it, right? So it's about just taking time to eat, savor, and enjoy the process of it with the community. So it's just like creating a safe space every single day. So
I love that. I love the whole idea of creating a safe space and combining it with food. After all, that's what we recommend, no? During family meals, we tell parents, don't use this time to lecture your children. Don't use this time to actually remind them of you didn't do this, you didn't do that homework is pending and all that. But Shobha, just before this we were talking about TGIF. Is it Thank God It's Friday? What is TGIF?
Well, TGIF is I will definitely relate it to TGIF, just that it's not Fridays. It can be every day. So it's like TGIF is people often ask themselves, and even sometimes I get queries on Kids Kinta, how do you make it like a practice? How do you institute this practice in a family that has not eaten together for days? How do you set this routine? So I would always say start small, start with, maybe once or twice a week, and use themed meals for the days of the week so that you have something to look forward to. For example, you can have like Mexican Mondays or stir fry Saturdays, one of the things that you had mentioned the last time when we spoke. So it's about starting a routine, start making a ritual of it, and starting small. So
we in our family, my kids and I, we get together on every Sunday morning and we do waffle Sundays. So is that what you're talking about?
Okay. Absolutely, yes. That is something very much a great example. The second thing I would say is go gadget free, like we brought it up during our discussion on hygge as well. going gadget free is very important, because otherwise the whole exercise doesn't even make sense. You're just sitting together at one place and just doing your own thing.
But Shobha, come on. I mean, what does one do when, this is the most frequent query that I get, really. What does one do when one's child insists on watching a video while eating? What can one really do? It's so easy to say that, oh, don't do gadgets, do gadget-free meals. But what does one do?
Yeah. So one of the things I can talk from my own personal example is that when we as a family sit down to eat, like, especially Sunday lunches, what we do is we put away our gadgets at a table that is beside the dining table, not on the dining table. Okay. So it's a totally separate table. All of us deposit our gadgets there, and we have Alexa at home. So we play loud music. So all of us are just listening to music. There is, there is bound to be some fight about which song, this song, that song. All that is fine. That is still better than, being immersed in your own mobiles and gadgets and everything. So that is one strategy that can be a lot of fun as well. And two is, I think that we should actually examine our mealtime structure and have this practice at a time when all the family members are reasonably hungry, so they're not distracted, and they do not want to even eat, right? But they're not engaged with the food. It becomes very difficult to engage with the other things that are also happening, especially if you're trying to build the routine freshly, if it's not a family habit already, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. In fact, this connects with what you were saying earlier. Because when parents ask me, this is what I recommend, especially during the pandemic, because anyway, our screen time has gone up. So I say to them that aim for at least one gadget-free meal time with your family a day. So that makes sense, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you're talking about TGIF. So you told us about T for theme, G for gadget.
G for gadget-free. And then third is involve, right? Involve is, simply involve the family members, however young. This makes me think there are some videos that pop up on Facebook and YouTube where there are very young children, as young as 1.5 to 2 year toddlers, who are involved with meal preps. They just go get some veggies. They just, get some cutlery, and all of that. So it's just involvement, right? At any level, whatever it may be. So,
you're talking about involvement, Shobha. So my son, who's now 4.5, literally right from when he was a toddler, I think almost 1.5, 2, I would just go. So my duty was morning breakfast, right? So I would go to the kitchen and just make him sit on the slab because I didn't have any help in the morning to look after him. So I would make him sit on the slab and just organically, naturally, he would just get involved in whatever it is that I was doing. If I was making dosas, he would just stir the batter. If I was baking something, he would, just throw in the ingredients together for me. And I can't tell you, I didn't realize the effect of this myself on him. Today, he is 4.5 and he's an expert baker. Like, he knows the names and measurements of ingredients that would probably go into a whole wheat cookie or a, dosa or paniyaram, like kind of. So he can name dals that my husband has no clue of and stuff. So involvement is so crucial because you don't end up realizing what it does to the children, like how much learning, how much bonding, how much it opens their avenues. So I completely
agree. This is amazing. This is amazing. And nothing can be more organic learning than this, right?
Exactly, right? I mean, this is what we want. This is multisensorial learning, which we keep harping about for young children.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And Shobha, you're talking about fun, and I have a very fun game that actually we play in my family. It's called the Rose, Thorn and Bud game. And in that, basically, we go around the table taking turns. Each one of us talks about something which is rose. So it could be something good that has happened to you today. Something thorn, which means something challenging that has happened to you today, or things have not gone very well. And bud, which represents hope. So something that you're looking forward to the next day or sometime.
Amazing.
So just this little game actually, and my kids are young, right? They're just 6.5 and 6 and 4.5. And how much I get to know about their life, even though I'm literally with them 24/7. But it's amazing with this little game, how much I get to know about their lives and share about my life with them. And again, teach them lessons, like not because I want to sit down and I want to teach you something, but organically, like when I talk about, say, my challenges, I'm able to teach them, see how this is how I handle conflicts, in my relationships or in my work. This is how I negotiate. This is what, this is how I communicate, share,
absolutely.
express. So I mean, I think family meals sounds simple and small, but it's actually really powerful if you think about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a beautiful example. And I'm looking forward to playing that game as well with my family.
I think this is, an incredible idea, a very good way to remember it. TGIF. T for theme, G for gadget-free, I for involve, and F for fun. We can do TGIF in our family. We don't have to wait for a Friday to do TGIF in our homes.
Yeah, you nailed it.
So thanks so much, Shobha. That was very insightful. I think all of us should be able to do a TGIF in our families and learn from the importance of family meals, how they go back to our roots and see how beneficial family meals can be. So that's our episode for today. Thank you for listening to Big Talk About Tiny Humans, our podcast for parents and educators.
Hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to share it with your friends and family.
Listen and subscribe to Big Talk About Tiny Humans on the IVM Podcasts app, website, and all major audio platforms. We are available everywhere.
You can follow us on social media and online. Meghna is at The Therapist Mommy on Instagram and YouTube. And you can check out her website, raisingfamilyacademy.com, for a transformative course on raising a child with emotional intelligence.
And Devishobha is at KidsKintha on Twitter and Instagram. And check out kidskintha.com for in-depth articles and events on parenting and child development.
While you're at it, do also check out other great shows from the IVM Podcasts network at shows.ivmpodcasts.com. And IVM is on social media at IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
We'll catch you again on our next episode.
Do you wonder why China does the things that it does? Or want to know how we could improve online privacy? Or perhaps you're thinking about how we can kickstart India's economy? If you'd like to search for the answers to such questions, check out All Things Policy, a daily public policy podcast that covers everything from employment figures to aircraft carriers. Tune in from Monday to Friday for new episodes and fresh takes.
If you're a cricket fan, check out Edges and Sledges, India's favorite cricket podcast.
The podcast focuses on Indian cricket, the IPL, and has a ton of banter both on and off the field.
We talk about the week's biggest cricket stories with current and ex-international cricketers, coaches, or sometimes just between us.
And it's hosted by me, DJ.
Me, Varun.
And me, Ashwin.
New episodes release every week.
You can catch us on the IVM Podcasts website, app,
or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Check out the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast.